Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to another Nora Finch video. And I really don't know why it has taken me so long to make this video in part of my personal growth journey, but now it's time, I guess, maybe to put it into words. So today's focus in this video, this is regarding personal empowerment, and this is a personal testimony from my life experience in the topic of overcoming my fear of guns. So this is going to be interesting, okay? But I have to speed you up to date in case you haven't ever listened to me before. And actually, I haven't talked about this. Certain parts of my life journey I have not talked about. So this is one of the areas. So I'm going to speed you up to date. Is that growing up in Pennsylvania, I was an introvert, okay? My introverted punk rock days, kind of snobbish and all of that. And growing up in Pennsylvania in the country, I'm going to speed it up to the story of I was not around crime and didn't experience that other than our trips going into Baltimore, Maryland. That was my exposure to the city, okay? But also with that being said, I was sheltered and had not learned anything about guns. So while I grew up in the country, my dad didn't really teach me anything about it. So a lot of the observations that I made about the outside world was from TV, the media, magazines, okay? And no, I didn't watch a lot of TV. Actually, I was always doing chores. But what I did see in terms of what I knew about guns was from the media, which I would definitely say is all negative, very fear-based, okay? So introvert to extrovert. Into my early 20s, I started to become more extroverted. That's for another story. Learning social skills and different things like that. And that is also the period where I learned that, okay, so I was learning to build my social skills during that time in my business. Okay, fast forward ahead to about age 35. That's when I started training in Krav Maga, okay, self-defense. And you'll hear me talk about that and how it changed my life in a few other videos, okay? So it was very dramatic for me learning physical self-defense, learning the verbals, learning these other things that helped teach me the difference between actually self-worth and being confident, okay? And so I talk a lot about this because it can be confusing. Other people have talked about it before, but I kind of still didn't understand it until I really learned it. You know, that there is a difference between being confident in your abilities and having a sense of value and purpose in the world. Okay, so that's different, and that's what I learned in physical self-defense. So during that time when I was training, this is also when I became interested in first responders and how they dealt with stress outside of drugs and alcohol. I had also learned how to disarm somebody with a weapon because Krav Maga has its roots in military training, right, from Israel. So realistic street defense, even though you are learning all these different techniques and we are doing all these sorts of drills. So now talking about feeling powerless, fearful, all of that stuff that I learned in the media, getting into encounters with criminals, or even the thought of that, all of that, it was very fear-based. I always felt helpless in that area, never being in a physical fight, not knowing what to do, being fearful of death. All of those things just changed after I learned how to shoot a gun, actually how it works, that a gun is just not going to go off, just not feeling powerful within myself, and that I could handle myself. Okay, this was just my experience. Some people do not have this problem at all. Okay, so the mindset that I learned, which is something that I do in my workshops, is how I gained all of this reassurance. I learned during self-defense, which is again another part that I won't go into in this video. But what I wanted to do to explain in this video is that after learning, I don't feel that I was controlled by fear anymore, and learning physical skills and all that sort of stuff caused me to basically take action. That I will do anything now, of course, to protect myself and loved ones and those around me, no longer feeling helpless. I'd more than likely, try to at least disarm or kick that shit out of somebody's hand, or do something where I wouldn't before. And everything that I've learned in the process too, of just learning how to use the gun, not feel scared, taking action, all of those, did I say not being fearful of death, is that, just feeling empowered to do something is like one of the biggest rewards. Okay, this doesn't mean that I'm going to carry, this doesn't mean that I am promoting gun violence and all those sorts of things, but should something happen and I know how to use one, use a gun or use a shank or use some sort of weapon item aside from my body, I like being able to know that. Okay, and again, not being fearful. So, of course, I encourage even one time for somebody to try this, because it's just an illusion I feel like I created in my mind based on what the media showed me, and that's what made me so fearful. Okay, and then also being of a Buddhist philosophy, of course, I would love for all of us to be able to walk in peace, moving forward, evolving into the, future, the other generations, of course. But that Buddhist part of me, that is not going to save me in the moment of if I had to assert myself, even if it's with words, to tell someone stop, or tell them to, I need them to walk away, or I need whatever is the language that I want to use in that moment of time. The Buddhist ways and my compassionate ways, I did not learn in that philosophy how to assert, like I just said, with words or actions or anything that's going to help keep myself safe and my family, those people around me. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say in this video. The personal testimony is that after learning self-defense, how it changed my life, and not only dealing with criminals or strangers or all of that. This is for everyday living, and maybe other people aren't experiencing it the same way as I did. Everybody is different, but I need to share with the world what it did for me, and not being fearful. So hopefully this provided some valuable information for you. If not, that's okay too. And that's about it. So I'll see you next time, and thank you for listening, and I'll see you in more videos. Bye.